Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 3 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 3 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter. The lessons we're going to cover today are rounding nearest 10 or 100 only, rounding money amounts, and rounding puzzles. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions. And I am on grade 3 math chapter we are on right now is estimation and rounding. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is rounding nearest 10 or 100 only. What is 594 rounded to nearest 100? So look at the digit that is at the hundreds position, right? So 5 is at the 100 position. So 5 is at the hundreds digit. Right next to 5 we have 9, right? 9 is greater than 5. So it would be, we need to round up. Round up means 5. 594 is rounded to 600. Let's just start with the test questions. What is 717 rounded to nearest 100? So 717. 7 is the digit that is at the hundreds position. Right next to 7, we have 1. 1 is less than 5. So that means you need to round on the same 100. So it would be rounded to 700. So the correct option is 700. 717 is rounded to 700. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is 27 rounded to nearest 10? So 2 is the digit that is at the tens position, right? So right next to 2 we have 7. 7 is greater than 5. So you need to round up. Round up means 27 is rounded to. 27 is rounded to 30. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is 463 rounded to the nearest 100? 463. 4 is at the hundreds position. Right next to 4 we have 6. And 6 is greater than 5. So you need to round up. So it would be rounded to 500. The correct option is 500. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is 67 rounded to nearest 10? Sixty-seven is rounded to nearest 10. 6 is the digit that is at its position. Right next to 6 you have 7. 7 is greater than 5, so you need to round up. So 67 is rounded to 72. 67 is rounded to 70. Option number 2 is the correct option. 70 it is. What is 682 rounded to nearest 100? 680. 6 is the digit that is at the hundreds position. That is 8. 8 is greater than 5. 680 is rounded to 700. That is 700. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 594 rounded to nearest 100? 594 is rounded to 600. Option number one is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. That is rounding. Let's just start with the lesson. What is 856 rounded to nearest 100? That is exactly the same lesson we just did. 8 is the digit that is at the hundreds position, right? Right next to it we have 5. 5 is equal to 5. So you need to round up. It would be rounded to 9. Let's just start with the test questions. What is 12 rounded to the nearest 10? So the basic concept is every number is between two tens. Like 12 is between 10 and 20. So 10, 11 and 12. Here it is. So 12 is close to 10, right? Like, or you can say 12 is less than the middle of these two numbers. The midpoint of these two numbers is exactly 15. So 12 is less than 15, so it would be rounded to 10. If that is greater than 15, then it would be rounded to up. Up means that would be rounded to 20 then. So 12 is rounded to 10. Option number 3 is the correct option. What is 830 rounded to nearest 100? So which is the correct option? 830 is rounded to 800. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is 47 rounded to nearest 10? Forty-seven is near to 50. Option number 3 is the correct option. No one is answering the questions. Why? But is 393 rounding to nearest 100? So, which is the correct option? $393 is rounded to 400. The correct option is 400. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is 672 rounded to nearest 10? So which is the correct option? Now we need to round just the tens, right? So 672. 7 is at the tens position. Right next to 7 you have 2. So we need to round down. So it would be rounded to 670. Option number. That is 670. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is rounding money amounts. What is 1.01 rounding to nearest dollar? We need to round it through dollar, right? So the whole number is the dollar, the decimal part is the cents. We have $1 and point 0.1 cents. So look at the digit the right first of the decimal point. After the decimal point, we have a 0. 0 is less than 5. So replace all the digits with 0. So it would be 1. Let's just start with the test questions. What is 3.11 rounded to nearest dollar? So we need to round it to the nearest dollars, right? So 3 is the dollars and 0.11 is the cent. So right after the decimal point, we have 1. 1 is less than 5, right? So 3.11 is rounded to 4.0, or either you can write it as, sorry, 3.0, because 1 is less than 5. So you need to round on the same whole number. So that is 3. Option number 3 is the correct option. 3 it is. What is 3.30 rounded to nearest dollar? So we have 3.30. So right next to decimal point we have 3. 3 is less than 5. So you need to round on the same whole number. So that is $3 or the same dollar. So it would be $3. Option number 3 is the correct option. That is 3. What is 3.83 rounded to nearest dollar? So we have 3.83 right next to decimal point we have 8. 8 is greater than 5, so you need to round the whole number to the next digit, that is 4.000. The correct option is option number. The correct option is 4, option number 1 is the correct option. What is 1.01 rounded to nearest, which is the correct option? It would be rounded to 1, option number 2 is the correct option. What is 5.07 rounded to nearest dollar? So which is the correct option? It would be rounded to, very good, 5, option number 2 is the correct option. What is 1.61 rounded to nearest dollar? So which is the correct? It would be rounded to $2. Option number one is the correct option. Very good. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. The next one is rounding puzzles. Let's just start with the lesson. Let's just start with the test questions. The digits in a certain number are 2 and 1 to the nearest 10. The number rounds to 10. So we need to write down the number, right? We have the digits 2 and 1. You can write two digits from 2 and 1. The first one is 12. The second one is 21. So the to the nearest 10, the number rounds to 10. So which number when rounded to 10 is the correct option? That is 12. Option number 2 is the correct option. The digits in a certain number are 6 and 2. So to the nearest number, the number rounds to 30. So which is the correct option? So you can make only two numbers, right? They are 62 and 26. So which number when rounded to tan, it is rounded to 30, which is the correct option. It would be rounded to 26, right? Because 26 is rounded to 30. So the correct option is 26. Very good. The digits in a certain number are 7 and 8. So to the nearest number, the number rounds to 90. So which number rounds to 90? You can make two digits with 7 and 8, right? They are 78 and 87. So which number rounds to? So 87 is rounded to 90. The correct option is 87. Very good. A number has the digits 8 and 2 to the nearest and the number rounds to 30. So which is the correct option? Which number rounds to 30? Very good. That is 28. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 3 math chapter we're working on is estimation and rounding. The lessons we have covered today are rounding nearest 10 or 100 only, rounding money amounts and rounding puzzles. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are to help you. Either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So any questions? No questions?